Hi everyone. I find canopies always a bit tedious, don't you? You get fingers on them, you don't get them in the right place, you have glue all over them, and it's just a pain. I would like to show you a method today that is both clean and exact and works quite nicely. Some of you might have noticed that my canopy that you also see in the maiden flight was quite warped and really ugly. Well, this is because of the heat wave here in Germany, and the box must have been standing in the heat, I don't know, and this is what happened. Well, I had told Dad about this right away, and I made a little film just for her to show her the canopy, and I mean, within an hour or so, I got an email back from her that the new canopy was already on its way. Now, that is wonderful service. Thank you very much. It was about, I don't know, 3-4 days ago, and today the new canopy came in the mail. So that's great. Thank you very much. Actually, I was a bit surprised when I read in the manual that we should use epoxy. I know different glues. I know like canopy glues, but epoxy? However, as always, I trust John, and so I'll give it a try. Just let me show you how. Have a look. Firstly, I want to sand the parts where the glue will be a little bit, and just so I don't scratch the canopy, I use tape. Then I use a sharp knife to trim the tape to expose the parts where the epoxy will be. It looks like that then. Now I use a quite coarse sanding sponge, and that works really nicely. And that's the result. Now an important part: when we rub the canopy, we load it statically. So I use this anti-static dust cloth. It's a bit sticky and takes the dust away that way. You can get it at a shop for car paint supplies, for example. Now I can position the canopy very exactly and fix it with a bit of tape on these sides. And now I can go around, take off that tape one by one, and apply contour tape. This way I mark the area where the epoxy will be. Hold it in position with a bit of tape again. When I'm done with that, I can remove those small bits of tape again, and that way I have marked the area where the epoxy will be. Now I take my coarse sanding sponge again and very lightly roughen up the area where the epoxy will be. It looks like this then. Then clean it with the anti-static dust cloth again. Then I use isopropanol, which is an alcohol, to make it fat-free. Isopropanol is great because it doesn't harm the foil or the canopy. I'd be careful with painted parts though. We've rubbed the canopy again, so let's clean it with the anti-static cloth again. Can't do that often enough. I guess by now you know how to prepare epoxy. I'm using a brush now and not just a wooden stick. It makes for more exact working. Just be sure to clean the brush thoroughly if you want to use it again. Now very carefully put the canopy on, and don't worry if it doesn't sit right yet, you have time. Now I'm pushing it down here, and I can take a little bit of that tape away here, just so. And then stick another little piece of tape again to keep the canopy in position, just like so. Procedure on the other side. Carefully while pushing the canopy down into position, and then I can take the contour tape here and carefully pull it off. The good thing about isopropanol is that it dissolves the epoxy, so now whatever has come out you can just clean off like that. Now I'm using that contour tape again, and this time it really makes a lot of sense because you can curve it. And I've fixed the canopy, half on the canopy, half on the fuselage, just like so. This process I can do now all around the canopy. making sure to wipe away any excess epoxy with the isopropyl. Here I worked the tape in with my fingernail, and now I can take that tape away because the contour tape will keep the canopy in position. In the end, I again use a bit of that painter's tape here to keep the canopy in position. I'm working with 30 minutes epoxy, so about after 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes, I take it off. I don't wait for the epoxy to cure completely, because that way I can still clean off anything that has squeezed out. And that's what it looks like finished. Neat, isn't it? Okay, that concludes the building process. The maiden flight I had done with the warped canopy, and now I'm really looking forward to some beautiful flights with this amazing airplane. Okay guys, check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel. You'll also see jets and other stuff. And please do give me feedback. So, see you next time. Bye.